Hey everybody, Ryan McCaffrey with IGN. Welcome back to E3 2015. We are seeing so many good games this week, including Fortnite. Welcome Tanya Watson, executive producer on Fortnite from Epic Games. This has been a long time coming. You guys have been working on Fortnite for quite some time.
Yeah, well, a little while, a few years.
A few years.
Yeah.
So it is, from my time playing it, an absolutely adorable crafting and building game, which probably couldn't be further tonally from your last game, the Gears of War trilogy.
Yeah.
Is that by design, or is that just sort of an organic thing that happened?
Well, it's kind of both. I mean, coming off of Gears and I had been finishing Bulletstorm, there was a desire in the studio to do something a little bit different. And especially, like, we really wanted to make a co-op game that incorporated lots of different play styles and incorporated crafting and incorporated building, and then marrying that with like our action and shooting background. And then Fortnite was born out of that. It was like, what if you could have a crafting and building game that was really fast paced and was really action oriented, and that's really where it started.
So it is powered by, of course, Unreal Engine 4, the in-house specialty that powers a ton of great games out there now. How has Unreal Engine 4 been able to make Fortnite better in the technological department?
Yeah, well, there has been, initially with Blueprints, that was really huge for us because it was able to put so much of the building blocks and those tools in the hands of the content creators. So our designers, our artists. We have a number of things in Fortnite that were just ideas that an artist had come up with, and Blueprints allowed them to actually just be able to hook them up themselves. Like once they had one thing. An example in Fortnite is that we have our day-night cycle that is based on our real in-game clock, right? Once the programmers had hooked that up, basically the artist could create anything that they wanted and align it with the time of day. So like the lights come on at night, we have clocks in the world that tell the actual game time and things like that react dynamically. And it was based on one thing the programmers did, and the artists were able to, go off to the races with it. And so we needed to be able to make a game where we could add stuff all the time and make it a living world. And so that's been a great help.
So when you fire up Fortnite, what happens? How does the game start? How quickly before we're just erecting either massive structures and/or crafting incredible, powerful tools of destruction?
Well, and to be totally honest, like the very beginning of the game, we're still working on and still iterating on. But the core of it is really you kind of deciding what you want to do. How do you want to play? It's all about rebuilding the world with your friends. And so depending on your type of play style, whether you want to be the builder, whether you want to be the commando, or whether you want to be the ninja and like have the crazy fast, action moves, you work together with your buddies to kind of figure out what roles you'll play. And then once you decide that, you'll determine, well, like what do you need for your home base in order to build it or unlock the next thing. And once you do that, then you go into our mission world and decide where you want to go from there and like what do you want to see. And from that point forward, you're exploring the world and crafting things depending on the schematics and the things you have in your inventory and fighting back the monsters.
Yeah, I noticed. What are some of the different classes and ways to play? Because I know when I tried it out, I apparently naturally gravitated toward melee weapons. Like I think I had a sword, but then one of the other players on my server sitting next to me had a gun of some sort. So what are some of our different options to play with?
So right now we have 4 classes. So for the planner, strategy person, you have the Constructor, and the Constructor has a number of abilities that make your base better when you're building your fort in the game. Passive abilities like dealing damage to creatures when they step on any items or any floors or things that are connected to the base. Then you have your Ninja, which is your super fast, close range combat dude.
So that's my style.
Yeah, he's got shadow stance, like he can go transparent, and he's got double jump, so he's all about movement. And then you have your Outlander, which is your scavenging archetype. So the Outlander can move quickly, they can harvest lots of resources really quickly. They're the one that's going out, finding stuff, bringing it back to the base, making sure everyone has what they need. And then there's the Commando, which is your range, great, combat guy with the guns. And depending on how you like to play, we have, literally hundreds of guns in the game. So if that's more your speed, there's tons of different ways you can go about it too.
What are some of the the craziest things you've seen built in the game so far during playtesting?
Oh my gosh. So in some of our online tests, so we've been in online tests for a little while now, and we're actually doing our closed beta this fall on Mac and PC.
Yep.
And so for the past year or so, we've been letting in groups of people, about 1,000 people. And in one of our online tests, we had somebody, I mean, he literally broke the game server because in Fortnite you can
hire that person.
Yes, exactly, yeah. He like leveled everything in the entire zone and built this crazy fort outside of the boundaries of the world. And he did things that like no one has ever done before. And it was just this massive, insane, like giant fort. He leveled the whole world. We had another guy who we called it his popcorn fort because there are all of these traps in Fortnite as well, right? And they were a bunch of jump pads, and he did a whole platform of nothing but these launch pads. And you could see with a funnel of enemies that were coming into this platform with the jump pads.
Yeah.
And just one after another, boing, 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 and you could just pick them off like Duck Hunt, you know, like
pull.
Yeah, exactly.
So, of course, Unreal Engine 4 runs on a lot of platforms these days. The game's announced for PC, Mac. Is this something we might see hit, you know, maybe an iPad or a console down the road?
Well, I mean, we want to see Fortnite everywhere. So we're starting on PC and Mac, and then we'll see where it goes. But like, I'd say absolutely there is a chance that you could see it on some other platforms.
Excellent. Tanya, thank you so much. We'll have much more on Fortnite between now and the beta later on the fall, winter, and then of course leading up to the game's eventual release. Tanya, thank you so much.
Thank you.
For more on Fortnite, keep it tuned right here to IGN.